Okay.
See if anyone comes. Oh, I'm gonna. This over here. There we go.
Okay. We're going to start in a couple of minutes. I'm going to allow just for a couple more people to log in right now before our presentation starts. So.
We got another one.
Yes, I know, I'm watching the number.
Oh, wait, now it says there's only one person's gone.
I still have 4.
Okay, good.
Welcome, everybody. We're just going to get started in a few minutes. I'm going to wait one more minute to allow people to log on, and then I will pass it over to our speaker for Villanova University. Welcome everyone to our virtual college exploration. For all of our Pennsylvania students attending, welcome. I'm going to pass it over to our speaker from Villanova University tonight. But before I do that, just to go over a couple of background information. So to ask questions, please utilize the question and answer feature on the screen to ask any questions that you may have. Our speaker will get to them throughout the presentation or at the end of the presentation if you do ask any questions. Please refrain from keeping your camera and microphone off at all times. We want to make sure that you are muted and your video is off so that the panelists can't see or hear you during the presentation, so there's no interruptions. You can always sign up for more sessions. This is one of many college presentations that is actually taking place throughout the PACAC Virtual College Exploration event. So check out the schedule, please, at the www.pacac.org/virtual link listed on this screen. I will share it one more time before we end the presentation today. You are also being recorded. This recording will be available for all people to go online to view at that same web link. So all of the sessions, if you did miss any or if you weren't able to sign up for any, will be on the website as well. But for now, I'm going to pass it over to our speaker from Villanova University. Enjoy.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to share my screen and get started. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Pam Swope, and I am the Assistant Director of Admissions from Villanova University. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. As we had that lovely introduction, please remember that if you have any questions, please use the Q&A function, and you can type them in now if you have them and you don't want to forget what they are, or you can type them in as I'm chatting, but then at the end of my little session here, we will have some time to answer some questions. All right, let's dive into the presentation. So Villanova virtual visit, that's what we're going to do today. If you haven't had the chance to visit campus before, I like to show this image first because it is the aerial view of our campus that shows you how beautiful it is, of course, but it's very green, it's very suburban. And my favorite part is that you can see Philadelphia along the horizon in the background. That's actually where I'm coming to you live from tonight. So the cool thing about our campus is that Philadelphia is not too far away. It's a part of the main line, which is a section outside of Philadelphia. There's actually 2 train stops that go right through campus. You can see the train tracks on this side and you can see the train tracks on that side. And that can get you into Philadelphia in just about 25 minutes. Now, when we're talking about your housing environment on campus, you are guaranteed housing for 3 years and encouraged to live on campus for 4. And just so you know, freshmen do not have cars on campus. I want to show you now this map, just in case you might be coming from a place in Pennsylvania a little farther away. We are very centrally located. So you can see where our V is on the map. I already mentioned Philadelphia not being far away, just a 25-minute train ride. New York City is about 2 hours and 15 minutes from our campus. Washington, D.C. is about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Baltimore, Maryland is about an hour and a half. And the Jersey Shore is also about an hour and a half. If you're someone who's coming from farther away in Pennsylvania that might need to hop on a plane to get to campus, we are about 25 minutes from the Philadelphia International Airport. So again, very centrally located, which is great for our students not only to go and have fun in these areas, but also for jobs and internship opportunities. So when we talk about Villanova University, we are an Augustinian Catholic institution, and our mission and our values stem from that Catholic and Augustinian heritage. You can see on the screen right now our Villanova University seal, and there are 3 important words: veritas, unitas, and caritas. Any Latin speakers out there, I'm not going to make you tell me what that means, but it's truth, unity, and love. Truth is what you're here to seek in the classroom. Unity is your campus community that you'll experience. And caritas, love, is giving back, which comes through us as community service. And we're going to talk about each of these slides coming up next. But before we jump into the academic side of what Villanova has to offer, I wanted to show this image. Now, it's not unlike something you might see today, minus masks and social distancing. If you weren't aware, we did welcome our students back to campus for the fall semester, so they could choose to stay home and stay virtual or come to campus. So we had about 5,000 students who chose to come back and live on campus. That does not include our commuter students. But for those students who have come back, again, we have the social distance guidelines, students are wearing masks, and we're being very strict to be safe because we want our students to be on campus. They're having activities still and keeping students encouraged to be a part of our community. So the past few weeks, we've had our fall festival days where they bring food trucks to campus. They're doing outside activities. Last weekend, we had a movie night outside. They showed Black Panther. And then the other day, we had a tie-dye your own mask event. So like I said, lots of ways to keep our students engaged and feeling part of the campus community. So when it comes to our academics, Villanova has 4 academic colleges. We have our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, our Villanova School of Business, our College of Engineering, and our College of Nursing. When you apply to Villanova as a senior, you will be applying directly into one of those specific colleges. So let's start backwards. Let's start with nursing. Nursing is a direct admit 4-year Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. You come in right to the nursing program as a freshman. Next, we have our College of Engineering. 5 options: mechanical, chemical, civil, computer, and electrical engineering. When you apply, you want to make sure you have taken physics in high school because that is a prerequisite for the engineering program. And you can select your top 2 engineering choices when you apply. Next up, we have our Villanova School of Business. With business, you apply directly to the business school, undecided or undeclared. All business students are declaring their major at the end of the sophomore year, so it's the same for all of them. For business, it's highly recommended that you have completed calculus when you were in high school. Then we have our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which I'm going to split into 2. So let's start with sciences. This program, you can apply exploratory sciences, so you can come and be undecided for up to 2 years and then declare your major by the end of your sophomore year. Or you can apply directly into one of our science-specific programs. So you can apply directly to biology or chemistry or physics or statistics or psychology, right? You can go right into the specific program. And then the last is the liberal arts. This is for the student who knows they're interested in liberal arts, or for the undecided student. If you have no idea what you're interested in studying, that's okay. We ask that you apply to the liberal arts because it's our largest college with the most majors to pick from. So you all will come into liberal arts undeclared and have until the end of your sophomore year to declare your major. Now, when you get to Villanova as a student, you're going to have an academic advisor. This is someone who will sit down with you at least once a semester to plan out your course schedule. That's also the person you're going to talk to about adding a minor, a track, or a double major. So let's start with a minor. This can be something that you add to a program, and it can be cross-disciplinary. So that means you can cross other colleges and take minors from them. So for example, you could be an English major in the College of Liberal Arts and get a business minor. Or you could be an engineering major, and you could get a Spanish minor. Or you could be a business major and get an engineering minor, right? It's crossing the disciplines. That is something that you would add with your academic advisor when you get to Villanova. The next thing I mentioned was a track. We have 2 tracks, pre-med, or what we call pre-health professions, and pre-law. So they're not a minor, they're not a major, they're right here in the middle, they're a track. They're going to get you the prerequisites and preparation to move past the bachelor's degree, either to something medical or something with the law school. So they're going to have some special classes you'll take. There will be preparations for the MCAT or LSAT tests, which you'd have to take to move on to those colleges. And they'll also help you with applying to those colleges. So it's an added level of academic support and classes. And then the last thing I mentioned was a double major. So please note that double majors typically happen within the specific colleges. So for example, someone in the business school might double major in accounting and finance. It happens within the specific college. And also note that some majors, you might not be able to double major because of how rigorous the curriculum is and how rigorous the schedule of classes you must take. So it really does depend on what you apply to and what your interests are. When it comes to your classroom environment, your average class size is 23. Your student-teacher ratio is 11:1. Our campus community has around 6,500 undergraduate students, and if you include the graduate students, it's around 10,000 students total. But please keep in mind, graduate students are not living on campus. But we are the type of environment where if you're looking for that individualized attention, you will have the chance to get that here. Your professors will know you and vice versa. You'll be able to walk through the campus and know the people you're walking past. But the nice thing about our size, around 6,500 undergraduates, is that there's always a chance to meet somebody new. So if that's the kind of environment you're looking for, we might be a good fit for you. One of the important pieces about coming into Villanova as a first-year student is that community, and we want to introduce you to that right away. So you're going to have your first-year orientation program. You'll move in a few days before all of the upperclassmen students, and you'll have a chance to get acclimated to campus. You'll move into your residence hall. You'll meet your roommates. You'll meet everyone who lives in your residence hall. And you're basically going to meet the entire first year class. The other thing that you'll have are your orientation leaders, which are upperclassmen students. And they're going to tell you and teach you about all of the resources we have on campus. I just want to name a few. We have tutoring services in case you need help in extra help in classes. We have a writing center where you can take your first ever college paper and they'll sit down with you and they'll review it and make sure it's ready to turn in. You could even start with them and they'll help brainstorm ideas with you. We have a fantastic career services on campus where our students can go and find job and internship opportunities for while you're in college, for when you graduate. We also have a health center that's open 24/7, and we have counseling services. We want to make sure our students are good from head to toe. So we have all of these resources available for you if you need the extra help. The other thing that you're going to learn about within the first few weeks of school are the 260 plus student organizations that we have on campus. There are so many different things to pick through. And I like to show this collage because it's just giving you a glimpse of what we have to offer. So of those 260 clubs, they could be something that you did in high school that you want to continue in college. They could be something completely new that you want to try. They could pertain to your major, right? There's engineering clubs and science clubs and business clubs. There's tons of different things to choose from. But the nice thing about our size, our campus size, is that if there's a club that you want to start, you only need about 12 to 15 students, and you can be one of those 260 plus clubs on campus. The other very important piece about our campus community is our Wildcats. We are very proud to be the Wildcats with our Division I athletics. So being a spectator, cheering on our team, that's a very big part of our campus pride and something that a lot of people will participate in. So besides from the D1 athletics, we also have club and intramural sports. So intramural is just fun within the Villanova community. That's like flag football or softball, like they're playing up in the corner of our screen right there. There's also club sports. So that's going to be a bit more competitive. You're going to try out, you'll have practice, and you'll also play other colleges. Some of those examples are rugby, ice hockey, and water polo, just to name a few. The other important piece about our campus is community service, giving back. That's the caritas or the love piece that I've mentioned before. So there's a lot of different things. We have multiple days of service that we'll observe. We have our St. Thomas of Villanova Day of Service. We also observe MLK Day of Service. We have alternative break trips. So for like your fall break or your spring break, you could go work for Habitat for Humanity. We also host the largest student-run Special Olympics in the world. And we can say that because it's completely run by students. And that is an organization that you can become a part of right as a first-year student. So there's so many different ways that we like to give back, not only within our community, but outside the community as well. Now, before we get into the application process, I want to talk about some important numbers that we're really, really happy to share with you. So the first one is 96%. That is our freshman to sophomore retention rate. That means you come in as a first-year student and you come back again as a sophomore, right? Your retention, you're coming in freshman, coming back as sophomore. 96% of the class comes back, which is awesome. That is showing you that our students are not only successful in the classroom, they're successful outside of the classroom, and they want to come back and they want to be at Villanova. Our students, while they're at Villanova, we have some statistics in regards to career experience. So from the class of 2019, 84% of our students participated in at least one type of internship. So I mentioned the career services. They do a great job with connecting students. They have career fairs, much like you would go to a college fair. And in college, you'll go to a career fair. They also have this program called Handshake, which connects students to employers who are looking to hire Villanova-specific students. And this is something you will have access to as a freshman and for the rest of your life as a Villanova alum. So you'll always have the chance to utilize what our career service has to offer. Then we have a 90% graduation rate, which leads us into our placement rate. 96.7% is our placement rate. And this is a number that our career services puts together. They ask our seniors, they start asking about 6 months before they graduate. What are your plans when you graduate from Villanova? And honestly, a lot of seniors already know what they're going to do. Like I have a senior who works in the admissions office. Her name's Lindsay, and she got offered a full-time job 3 weeks ago. And it's still the middle of the fall semester of her senior year and already has a full-time job. So a lot of students already know what they're planning to do, but career services will ask them again 6 months after they graduate, what are you doing? What did you end up getting? So 96.7% placement rate does include a job in their field when they graduate. It can include graduate school, so students moving past the bachelor's degree, going to medical school, going to law school, going on to a master's degree, a PhD program. It can also include service. We will have students who will apply to do years of service. We might see students going to Fulbright, Peace Corps, Augustinian. They have a specific service program as well. So you might see students doing that. And then finally, it includes military service. We have a fantastic Naval ROTC program on campus producing the most midshipmen next to the Naval Academy. And we also have affiliations with the Army and the Air Force. But 96.7%, that is your outcome for a student graduating from Villanova. All right, let's look quickly at last year's class. So we had around 22,000 applications for about a 31% acceptance rate. And then we bring in a freshman class of around 1,675 students. We'll talk now about what it takes to become a Wildcat. So what you need to apply to Villanova. We are on the Common application and we are Common App exclusive. So that's the only place that you can apply to come to Villanova. So this is what you need: Common App essay, Villanova supplemental essays. So there's two. The first one, there's a series of questions. You select one of those and you answer it. The other Villanova supplemental question is why Villanova, right? Tell us why you're applying, why you want to be here, what sparked your interest, all of that fun stuff. Then you're going to need 2 letters of recommendation, one from an academic teacher and one from your college counselor in your high school. And then you'll need your transcripts from your high school that will show us 9th to 12th grade, right? So we'll see 9th, 10th, 11th grade grades, 12th grade, depending on when you apply. We'll see the classes you're signed up for and might see some grades. The last thing for this year, for the seniors watching right now, we are test optional. That means you can submit your test scores or you can leave them out. We really have no preference on what you do, and you'll have 0 disadvantage if you choose not to submit your scores. But let's talk about if you want to submit your test scores. We have 0 preference over the SAT or ACT. We will super score, which means we'll take whatever you did the best in. We do not require any of the writing sections or any of the subject tests, and you can self-report your testing. So you do not have to send an official report from the College Board or from your guidance counselor unless you choose to enroll or you choose to go to Villanova. Okay, so keep in mind, if you become a student, we will need your official test scores if you're choosing to submit them from your counselor or from the College Board. So that's what you need to apply. Let's talk about when you need to apply. So this again is for my current seniors, right? This is the senior deadline. November 15th is your early action or early decision deadline. Early action, I like to remember it because you're taking that action to apply early, but you're not yet ready to decide. Because if you make that action and apply by November 15th, you're going to find out your decision in January, and you still have until May 1st to let us know if you plan to attend. May 1st is National Decision Day. So you tell all your colleges what you've decided to do. Then you have early decision. I like to remember this because you're deciding now that Villanova is the school for me, right? Because it's the binding agreement. You, your parents or guardian, and your counselor from your high school are going to sign an agreement that basically says, if I get into Villanova, I'm going to go to Villanova. It's the binding decision. So that's your November 15th. Maybe you're not ready by November 15th. You haven't decided yet. You're not ready to apply. You got January 15th. So you have regular decision, January 15th deadline. You'd find out before April, probably end of March, what your decision is. And then you have until May to decide. Then you have early decision 2. This is the same as early decision 1, just at a different time. So early decision 2 is still binding, still sign the contract, still, if I get in, this is where I go, okay? The other things I'd like to point out that are on the screen, honors program consideration. You have to apply by November 15th, and on the common application, there's a question that says, would you like to be considered for the honors program? You must select yes, and as I said, apply by November 15th. The other things I'd like to point out are scholarship and financial aid. When it comes to scholarships at Villanova, it's a bit selective, so all of them will have a separate application process. Please visit scholarships.villanova.edu. That's scholarships.villanova.edu to see a complete list of everything we have to offer. So when you look through those, see what you believe you qualify for and apply to them. Best case, you get the scholarship. So please make sure you're trying, but also keep in mind, only a few amount of students will receive some type of scholarship coming in as first-year students. On the reverse is the financial aid side. We try to put our best foot forward when it comes to need-based aid. And we ask that students file the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, and the CSS profile. That's something that not all students have heard of before because not all schools will ask for it. FAFSA is something all schools ask for. But the reason we ask you to submit both those forms is because we're going to create a financial aid package. The financial aid package is basically ways to help you pay for school and to figure out how much it's going to cost to go to Villanova. Financial aid package can let you know if you qualify for loans you pay back, grants are great. That's free money. We love a grant, or work study, which would be an opportunity for a job on campus. The FAFSA looks at your state and your government aid opportunities, which could be loans, grants, or work study. And the CSS profile looks at your institutional aid opportunities, which is Villanova ways to pay for Villanova. So colleges will have a certain amount of money they set aside to help students afford to go to their school. And that's what your institutional aid is. And that's what we create with a financial aid package, those things. You can see online your dates and your deadlines for those specific financial aid pieces, okay? All right, so the last thing I want to direct you to and tell you about is our social media, of course. That's the best way to see what's going on around campus, see any updates for our seniors, especially those applying this year. But I also want to talk to you about visit.villanova.edu. This is a great website because it's going to show you our virtual visit options that are happening right now. We do have virtual program much like this. So it would be an information session, just kind of like what you just did with me, but there's a second piece to it. And that is a walking tour of our campus where you're going to have the chance to hear from 2 current students. So you get that real life student experience. And then on Wednesdays in the afternoon, we do offer Wildcat panels, which are just current students talking about what it's like to go to Villanova. And you can ask them any questions that you have. And then the last thing I want you to check out on visit.villanova.edu are our fall preview days. Now they happened already, but they were recorded. And it's each of our academic colleges. So College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Nursing, Engineering, and Business all had their own 1-hour-long program that was run by faculty, staff, and students from that specific college. I highly recommend you check those out. It's a great program. I watched all of them. They're each as equally as good, and it dives deeper into academics, much more than I can get into today. So I really ask that you check those out. Again, it's visit.villanova.edu. The other thing I want you to check out on our website is the Meet the Staff page. So Pennsylvania is my territory, but I have very random counties within Pennsylvania. So it's important that you visit our Meet the Staff page to see if where you're from, what counselor has your territory. So I have like the Lehigh Valley, the Reading area, Delaware County, middle of the state counties as well. So if you do have any questions moving forward, you're more than welcome to reach out to your admissions counselors, which you can find them, like I said, on the Meet the Staff page on our website. All right, so we have some questions that have come through. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to go to the Q&A and see what we can talk about further. Okay. So the first question here, you know what? I think I'm going to share my screen and show you all something, our list of academic programs. That's the one thing that I didn't have in this PowerPoint. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to go show you this. So here's our list of academic programs. And then this is our list of opportunities for minors. So you can see that here. So someone did ask about if you major in psychology, is there a minor you can do in criminology? So we have criminology as a major. When it comes to adding it as a minor, you might be able to create that. We do have a create your own individual major that is an option for our students in the College of Liberal Arts. So the fact that you're studying psychology in the College of Liberal Arts and criminology is in the liberal arts, you have a chance to either double major in that or get classes that are in criminology. So you would still be able to have the opportunity to get classes in both of those. I will put the slide up that does have my email so you guys can see what my email address is. All right. Yep, I will give you my email address. We had 2 people ask for that. What range of SAT and ACT are you looking for? Let me slide on over to my email address. There you go. So there's my email address if you want to grab that while we're chatting. What range of SAT and ACT are you looking for? So we're not looking for something specific. We're going to be test optional this year, so you can choose to submit your scores, you can choose to leave them out. I can tell you last year's averages. We know the average is the middle, so that means we'll see some students who have higher than that. We'll see some students who have lower than that. But the average from last year was about a 1390 to a 1420 SAT, and the average ACT was a 3233. That's what the averages were last year. But like I said, there's not something specific we are looking for. Okay, so tuition, room, and board question. We are about $70,000 a year, which is expensive. I know that. So that's why it's really important for students to submit the FAFSA, the CSS profile, and apply to scholarships. Now that $70,000 a year, I call that the sticker price. And it's called the sticker price because if and when you go shopping for a car, there'll be a big sticker on the car that says what the price is, but nobody usually pays that, right? So that's why I call it the sticker price. That's why it's really important for you to get a financial aid package, to see what scholarships are available, and to even talk to your counselors in your high school about what community scholarships you might be able to receive, because Villanova will take outside scholarships. All right, so we got that one. The name, okay, so the name of the programs that were the fall preview days. So the Villanova fall preview days, each college did those. Someone asked what the name of that program was. So it was the fall preview days. For nursing, engineering, liberal arts and sciences was one, and business, fall preview days. What GPA you're looking for. So again, I don't have what GPA we're looking for. What I can tell you, last year's averages were a 4.13 weighted GPA. When we're looking at a student's transcript, we like to see someone who has challenged themselves in the classroom and been successful academically. That's very important for us to see that. Yes, 70,000 is your tuition, room, and board. It's the full Monty, if you will. It's everything, tuition, room, and board. All right. What else can we talk about? We still have some time. Please type your questions in. Now's the time to get them out if you have them, because we have a few extra minutes if you have anything. Hopefully you all grab my email address. Anything else? Oh, we got one. Oh, it's a thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you all were here tonight.
While we're wrapping up, if you don't mind, I'm going to just make my closing remarks. Thank you so much for our presenter for joining us, and thank you all for coming as well. Hopefully you have the opportunity to sign up for some more sessions. And again, if you missed any that you weren't able to log on to, or if there were some scheduling conflicts, please feel free. The bottom of the screen is listed the website that you would go to access all of the recordings. They will be available at the www.pacac.org/virtual website that is listed at the bottom of the screen. And hopefully you were able to get Pam's email address if you do have any additional questions. If you don't mind, as soon as you click out of this video, you will actually have prompted to you a quick survey to take. It's just 4 questions, and the 4-question survey will appear as soon as you exit out of this. You can always go to sign up for more sessions, and when you check out the schedule at the same website where the recordings will be at www.pacac.org/virtual. Again, thank you all for joining us, and I hope you all had a great night.
Thanks, everyone. Sign up for more. There's so many visit options. Bye, everyone.